Okie dokie, boys and girls. Today, I want to talk about why I want to be strong and how it helped me get confidence, right? Because I think I speak for most people when I say that, training is not only physical, right? It's also mental. And for me, I mean, I grew up having not too much confidence. I didn't have any bad youth or something, right? I have loving parents, didn't get bullied too much, but I would just keep putting myself down. Oftentimes, the words that hurt the most are the ones that you are telling yourself, and for me, that was the case. So yeah, people would tell me stuff like, "Hey, you're small and skinny, and you're not too good at math." For example, my teacher. But most of all, I would repeat those things to myself, and they became stronger, and I started to believe them. So what kind of happened was, I started getting more closed up, not having confidence, because I was telling myself, hey, you're fucking skinny, you're weak, you're not good at math, you're not good at languages, history, whatever, right? Like all these options that I had in life to excel at something, they started to be closed off, right? So I didn't have confidence to talk about my hobbies, let alone tell a girl that I liked her. So at 13 years old, I was like 30 kilos or something, or 34. When I was 60, when I started training, I was like 50. So I was quite skinny, right? 110 pounds. And, I didn't want to tell people that I liked Minecraft because that's embarrassing. I didn't want to tell people, that whatever hobby I had, right? I didn't want to get into things because I would like receive something like words about that. People would tell me something about that, and basically I would think to myself, shit, I'm not good enough, right? But when I started playing Minecraft, funny enough, things actually started to turn around, because until that point, I really didn't have anything that I was naturally good at, right? Like, not just good, but better than almost anyone, because I just liked the game and I kept playing it. I wasn't good from the start. I just kept playing Minecraft. You have like redstone in Minecraft, and you can build doors. You have a hallway, which is like a few blocks by a few blocks, like for example, 5 blocks by 5 blocks. And I was good at that. Like, I started with small doors, but eventually I got up to like making fast doors that open quickly, and compact doors where the redstone, the mechanism is very compact. And I started getting world records. And all of a sudden, I was good at something. I got the taste of victory. I was still shy about it. I didn't tell anyone. I have like some videos on YouTube with a previous account, but whatever, right? You have two voices in your head. One voice is telling you that you should stay down, stay comfortable, don't take on too much of a challenge because it's gonna be difficult. And you have the other voice telling you, well, what if, right? What if you can be great? I think every boy on this earth, Baki says it as well, right, has dreamt at least once of being the strongest. You have dreamt of achieving something great. Of course you want to achieve something great, right? And that doesn't have to be physical. It can be like languages, it can be fucking piano, whatever, music. You want to be good at something, right? And for the first time, I was able to answer the what if voice with Minecraft. It sounds fucking stupid, but then when I discovered training, the physical part of stuff, I no longer had to tell myself that I was fucking weak, because I saw Andrea La Rosa and Zoran Pestrak. You might know those names. I saw them doing stuff. They were once skinny. I want to be able to do that stuff too. And so I just started training, and I never expected, to ever stand on one hand, do a one-arm planche, do one-arm front lever pull-ups, do 20 front lever pull-ups, right? I never expected that. But what was fun to me about it was that I was always able to get a little bit stronger than before, a little bit stronger than I expected. And if you think about it, right, every time you achieve something like that, the what if voice is winning from your stay down voice. And if you do that enough, right, you start to, you don't have to tell yourself anymore to stay down. You don't have to tell yourself that you're not good enough. You don't have to be top level of the world. You don't have to be the strongest guy out there. You just have to be, or you just have to try and be a little bit stronger than you would have imagined yourself being. Because if you can do that, right, you either overcame something. That's the fucking confidence. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm a super confident guy still yet, but at least, I have had this experience enough times that I am able to tell people about my hobby. Yes, I did play Minecraft for thousands of hours and I liked it. Yes, I did fucking start studying Japanese for no fucking reason, right? Yes, I am training for strength and it may be a vague goal. No, I am not training for any marathon. But yes, I'm fucking doing that. And I didn't want to tell people that before because, I was like, well, why the fuck am I doing this? This does not amount to anything. What the hell does Minecraft amount to? I'm not going to be a Minecraft YouTuber, right? So I didn't want to tell people that. But if you can make that what if voice in your head, right? If you can make it kind of the Rocky, in Rocky versus Apollo around 14, right? It doesn't have to win. But the what if voice, if it can just keep trying, if you can just keep making it get up, right? That in itself will give you confidence. Because you're putting your middle finger up in the air, right? You're saying fuck you to the universe. The universe is telling you, you yourself are telling yourself to stay down, to not even give it a shot, and just telling that voice to fuck off. That in itself, the ability to do that, I mean, it gives you so much confidence, and it will come bit by bit, right? You're not gonna be fucking Mr. Charisma in a day or two. But if you can train, for me it's strength, for you it might be anything, right? If you can just train stuff, right? You do stuff, and you keep challenging yourself. Like challenging yourself is the important part. Winning is not important, but the ability that you're able to give it your all, that's important. Knowing that you have it, knowing that if you wanna go for it, you can do it, right? That's gonna give you confidence. And, I guess that's how or I don't guess, I know that's how I built my confidence. So when, people ask me what I was doing when I was 16-year-old, I tell them, yeah, I was playing Minecraft. When people ask me why I studied Japanese, I say to them, well, really, I was just fucking bored. I have no reason, and I'm not embarrassed about it anymore. Because guess what? I just kept hammering away. The daily grind, I wouldn't call it that, but just chipping away day by day, knowing that you have a long way to go, but also that you got further than yesterday. That shit, that will build your confidence. And physical training, I believe, is one of the easiest ways to get that feeling over and over and over again. And on top of that, you can feel it in your body, right? That feeling of shit, I did it. It's not only mental, it's a rush throughout your entire body. So that's why I like training so much. That's why I like training the front lever so much, At one point, I thought I was stuck at a front lever of 34 seconds hold, right? Which is good. But I was thinking to myself, shit, this might be it. I might not be able to surpass this because I hadn't for 2 or 3 years. And then there was this what if voice, what if you can surpass it? And then I started fucking training front lever twice a day, insane volume. And lo and behold, 3 months later, I got to 38 seconds. A couple months later, I got to 40 seconds. I didn't believe in myself that I could get there, but I just, I kept going and, just keeping going, saying fuck you to whatever is holding you back. Like I said, that will give you confidence, right? It's at least a start. So for today, I added the pull example, the front lever example. We actually have a pull day. I am gonna do some front lever pull-ups, so I'll see you when I get back home. Okay, so that was fucking misty outside. And I'm not talking about the gym leader, I'm talking about the natural weather phenomenon, whatever you call it. But yeah, it was nice running outside, and now it's time for a pull day. On front lever. On pull day, I do front lever. I might as well call it a front lever day because that's the only thing I do really. That's because that's the only thing you need for back, right? Having a strong front lever will result in strength on all other aspects of pulling. Now, today, pull focus day, I usually interchange, I have one hold focused day and one pull-up focused day, and I do some presses as accessory or like secondary exercise on both. So yeah, today is the pull-up day. Gonna put some weight on my feet somewhere probably. Although I'm still sore from the last workout. In the last workout we went hard on longer holds for the first time in a while, so I'm feeling that. Let's see with a warm-up set here how things are feeling, because if you have a strong pull-up base for front lever, right, whatever progression you want, you're gonna get a stronger front lever as well. Like if you're training for the full front lever, doing advanced tuck front lever pull-ups is gonna help you greatly, so don't skip that, boys. All right, I can feel the soreness, the stiffness in my muscles, but let's see what happens anyway. This is one of those things as well, right? When I started working out, I would have never imagined myself doing 5 sets of 11 pull-ups on a regular basis in the front lever, right? I didn't even dream of that. I was happy when I got one front lever pull-up. But you chip away bit by bit, and before you know it, you're at that certain place, right? And you look back, it's like a mountain you climbed. You look back, you see the city below you. Holy shit, it's far. Did I walk the distance? That's kind of the situation. Okay, so this is the third set. I'm adding some weight to my feet, and I don't know if I'll keep the weight on for the last couple of sets, the last 3 sets, but anyway, I'm gonna go until 5 sets, whether it is with extra weight or not, right? 5 sets a day keeps the doctor away. Although I'm not doing it daily, but 5 sets every now and then on the front lever pull-up will give you a great amount of strength. Fuck. Alright. Fuck. No false grip with weight is more difficult than I expected. Oh, holy shit. Oh boy. No one can tell me that this does not build muscle. Ah. Alrighty, we got our last front lever pull-up set. And I'm gonna superset it with some front lever presses, you know, the endurance work. I took off the weight of my feet because that would be too heavy, but let's see how it goes. This is heaven. Alright, let's move on. Okie dokie, so 5 sets of 11 pull-ups done. I'm telling you guys, if you're stuck on just doing front lever holds, try those pull-ups, right? Even if you can't get all the reps in one straight set, doing rest pauses, doing drop sets, whatever gets you basically strong as fuck, right? Just do it. So now I'm gonna move on to some heavy holds and presses. I mean, I kind of figured last time I am struggling with the endurance, but what's important for one set endurance as well is that you feel light in the specific exercise that you're doing, right? So in my case, it's the front lever. I have to feel light in the front lever. And I feel like, you know, the heavy holds with heavy presses have kind of been lacking. Like, without even thinking about it, I kind of stopped doing them. So we're gonna take those back into the menu, you know, get used to a heavy front lever so that we can feel light as a feather, even at the highest body weight I've ever been, right? In the normal front lever, when there is no weight added. So a couple sets, I'm guessing like 3 with a small hold, and then a couple presses, you know, a mix of that will be nice. All right, so that's it regarding the workout today. As usual, pump the shit. Oh yeah, really can't complain. On the last set, I even did 4 kilos on the feet, 4 kilos on the hips, which, you know, the order seems a bit reversed, right? Because first I'm doing lighter stuff and then I'm doing heavier stuff. But it's kind of like eat your vegetables and then you can have dessert kind of situation, you know? I did the necessary volume on my front lever pull-ups, on my front lever presses, you know, to get a good stimulus. Then I was listening to some Zardonic Credo Revolution remix. Of course you're gonna want dessert, right? You listen to that shit, you're not gonna just, you know, pick off the weights of your feet and stop the workout, hop in the shower, right? You have to do at least one more set. That's just kind of how it goes. So that's what happened. Good last set, good workout, and yeah, very happy with today's workout. You know, like I mentioned in the beginning, this like training stuff. It's not only physical, right? It's also mental because every day you have the opportunity to just try something and have this small little victory. And you know, when I started training, I was doing some pull-ups, half reps in the park, like you see all the skinny kids do, right? I was doing it as well, and I could do a couple reps. I would never imagined myself, getting to a one-arm front lever or a Victorian or a straight arm touch, whatever. After I got injured on my leg, right when I fucking tore my ACL, I wouldn't have imagined growing back up strong to do pistol squats with 50 kilos. But here I am, right? And it all starts with just not accepting that the voice in your head is telling you to stay down because it's gonna be too hard, but just saying fuck you to that voice, and going against it anyway. And even if you fail, right, just the fact that you're standing there, right, basically not listening to that voice that's telling you to stay down, that's going to give you satisfaction. That's what's giving me satisfaction to keep on going as well. And, before you know it, even if you don't win every day, right? You go against your voice, you might not succeed in what the voice is, telling you not to do. But anyway, you went against it. Some days you're going to succeed, and little bit by little bit, you're just going to grow further. And before you know it, you have your front lever, you have your planche, you're doing pull-ups, you're getting a bit bigger, you can see your biceps, right? All these things, and you are in control. Like, sure, training is difficult, and you get muscle aches and it hurts, right? But it's all pain that you are controlling yourself. You are doing that pain to yourself. It's a choice that you consciously made. And in that sense, it's very powerful. So, it's like kind of a way to get control of your life, I would say. It's like one of the easiest ways to do that. So, yeah, that's why I love strength. That's why I will keep aiming for strength. And everything else, it will just fall into place, because that mindset that you have during training, it will trickle into other things in life. It will trickle into your job, your studies, whatever. Oh, I was able to do a hard workout today. Well, then why wouldn't I be able to study tomorrow? Why wouldn't I be able to do that challenging thing at work today, right? That's all things that will play in your head. Once you start listening to that other voice that tells you, what if you try, right? And you just start trying, I feel like a lot of stuff starts happening, and that's where you build your confidence. So let's just all keep going, day by day, and we will end up at a certain destination, unknown for now, but we will look back on it and be satisfied. So yeah, that's it for today's yapping and training. Tomorrow is going to be another leg day, the push-pull legs. The pace is quite high, Before you know it, you have your next pull day, you have your next leg day, whatever. It all goes quite fast, but I'm enjoying every bit of it, so I'll see you tomorrow.